sweet Mario reference.
What?
Hey guys, welcome.
What? So this is our bailout review, and in case you're wondering, I mean this is very similar to Red Letter Media format. There's only so many ways you can film like a round table, people discussing like a bad film.
It's
Okay.
a blatant ripoff.
What?
Well, I mean,
There's only so many ways
you
you
don't
can
have to
do
use
it.
a round table. You can use a square table.
Well, that's what they use. This is the only unique thing about it is the round table. Welcome to our review of Bailout, also called something else. It's like WB Blue and White or something like that. Hold on.
Oh, one other thing that's different is that they're actually popular YouTubers.
Oh
and
yeah.
we're
Have more
we're
than
3
10.
broke college students.
Have more than I just spent $160 for that.
Dude, all my
That's
books,
sick.
like all the things that I had to buy for my classes, totaled up to about $500.
It wasn't even a book. That
WB Blue and the Bean is also what it's called.
WB Blue and the Bean.
Yeah, and WB stands for White Bread, which is our main character, played by David Hasselhoff.
The
And,
man, the myth, the legend.
It also stars Linda Blair and a bunch of other people. It stars the guy who plays like a homeless guy in every film he's in, you know?
Oh, and it also
I don't remember-
stars racism.
That's
the biggest.
We'll get to that. Don't you worry about that. It also... Oh, yeah, Danny Trejo's in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, a
Danny
younger
Trejo.
Danny Trejo, before I guess he was famous.
Yeah, he's just in the film for like one scene as Mean.
What do you want?
Is that Danny Trejo?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I don't think it is.
They're in Colombia.
I think he sounds and looks like him, but I don't think it is.
We say you saw.
I mean, the mustache
None of you speak
is
Spanish?
very
No.
much him.
I honestly think that's
First time down here,
Danny
we're
Trejo.
checking out some condos and
I feel like they would have...
And
This is before you became famous.
here we are.
But he looks too old here. Like, he looks like he does today.
What does this mean is nalgada dulce?
Our lose.
There's
Which
some,
I mean is pretty apt.
some great names in this film.
That's an apt.
So, the basic plot of this film is Linda Blair gets kidnapped and David Hasselhoff rescued her. Then Linda Blair gets kidnapped and David Hasselhoff rescued her again. And sometimes they play tennis and sometimes they go to the strip club. And I think that's it, right?
Now the real question is, can you
They're also bail collectors.
and bounty
Yeah,
hunters and,
and-
former policemen?
One of them is a former. One of them might have been in the NFL.
No, he was not in the NFL. Just because you wear a
No,
jacket
but he
that has
says
the
like
Raiders.
he keeps saying stuff that to
Dude, if
imply.
dude-
He's like playing off the facts.
No,
if
people
I
think he
wear
is.
No,
a-
that's what I'm saying.
If I wear a
He's-
Team USA training jacket, that doesn't mean I'm on Team USA, no matter how much soccer I've played.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I'm fairly confident he was not.
yeah,
his
he.
character
I
was
mean,
not in his football.
I know he was just doing that, but he keeps. It's just a weird plot point. Like, oh hey, I'm pretending to look like an NFL star, so I can
No,
go.
people mistake
And so I can go into a boxing ring and punch a guy out and then pull a gun on him.
You're misinterpreting the scene.
What are you talking
He was
about?
not. People mistook him for an NFL star.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When he was in the boxing ring, he was pretending to be a trainer for Muhammad Ali.
No, Michael
What?
Jordan. No, not Michael Jordan. Michael Tyson.
Mike
No, he's
Tyson.
saying that he fought Michael Tyson. It's
Hey man, you know, you look familiar. I don't know you, do I? You shit me. You don't know who I am. Hey, brothers, hold it, just a minute. Wait a minute there. Fuck are you? Who am I? You ever heard of Muhammad Ali? Who am I? Yeah, so what?
no.
You ever heard of Michael Tyson?
That's not important. The important thing is,
Dude, nothing
he
in
goes
this
in the
film is
boxing
important.
ring and pulls a gun on him, and then has the were those handcuffs he pulled out?
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
they're like
giant
chains.
chains.
Yeah, they're like.
They're like foot handcuffs that you see in prison.
Why is he beating this guy up? I missed something.
Point. Is that
Wait,
the-
wait, what?
Cop?
He just. What? What? Wait, what's going on here? And then is that when the racism comes in, right? Oh no. Oh no.
Racism. My favorite.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, after
Racism
that.
was there from the start.
No,
Was
no,
it?
no, it wasn't because they set up.
Oh, the
like,
opening
not-
is incredible.
Hi, Mrs. Blumberg. You're looking good.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Baroni, and have a good day.
I hope the fat bitch croaks.
Hi, kid.
hope the buck bites their asses off.
The opening is of some minor character who appears in the film like twice after that, but the whole opening minute is dedicated to him just being a jerk to everybody. Like, he pretends to be nice to them, and then he turns around immediately and just says something snarky alone in his car.
Dude, I thought this was a great idea.
Because that's pretty much it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like he turns to them, he's like, oh, hey, have a nice day.
You
And then he's like,
fucking
I hope the
piece of
dog
shit.
tears them to pieces or something like
Well,
that.
he's a bail collector.
And then, but then,
Yeah, I mean,
is that
bail-
his wife? Is that, or is that just some lady?
How's this some lady?
Some lady who's like, I love you, don't get too serious about it.
Dude,
And then he's
dude,
just-
I want. Can that some lady be my some lady? Like,
And then
Like, she was
he
attractive.
goes to the bail place from his really nice house to this crappy bail bonds place, which the guy who plays a homeless guy in every movie sleeps on the sidewalk to save a spot for him because he's such a nice guy, and he pays him to sleep in the parking spot for him. And he asked for a raise because he was there from, what was he, like 6 a.m. or something like that? It's like, I slept here earlier today. But again, goes to this crappy place, which has a Richard Nixon picture hanging up.
You know, this sounds like one of WB's.
Is that Richard Nixon?
No, that's
No,
that's
he
the
has a
black
frame
guy.
painted-
No,
Car chasing.
you know what I'm talking
He
about.
has a frame. He has a frame painted of his portrait of himself.
Oh my
also,
god, is that Richard?
Also, no, it's not Richard Nixon. It's him. It's the bailout
Doesn't
man.
look, the image is so
Yeah, Ronnie
crappy
Bale.
though.
That's familiar.
WB. So where are you? Did you pick up the girl?
Also, it's right.
Huh?
Like, who puts a photo right? Like, if you equate it to right here, who puts a painting there or any photo?
WB.
Well, they've already got the other ones up
I
there.
get it. You want it to be in frame, but
Yeah.
remove it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You cannot trust these two guys. Uh-huh. Yeah, they're
No,
trying to steal
that
the
is-
rails.
That is Nixon. What the?
Okay, babe. You
Dude,
stop by
it's
the
his
office, I'll
idol.
buy you some lunch, all right? All right.
As well as many other incredible
He's a
pictures
bail
hanging around.
collector.
And then we like barely see him ever again. And then and so we go to the guy who goes to the boxing ring. David Hasselhoff has not been introduced yet. Our main character doesn't come in for quite a while, really. Well, it feels like quite a while until you watch the whole film and realize that was only like 5 minutes of the film. So then we go from that, and then we go to the racism. And who wants to talk about Matthew? You said you were a fan of the racism in the scene.
I was a fan.
Would you like to talk about the racism?
What scene was it again?
The one where we first introduced
The
to. I
Mexican
think
guy.
is his name Bean? Is his?
No,
his-
Oh, that's even more racist.
Oh yeah. He was in his house
With his
like
family.
Of course, they named the Mexican guy Bean,
They had him quite a large family. He was a busy man,
and there was mariachi music playing in the
there
background.
was a very loud mariachi music, which was louder when it cut to the guy talking to him on the phone than it was in the actual room. I remember that.
Yeah, music was louder on the phone than the guy's voice, even though in the room his voice was louder than the music. But that's not the important thing here.
It's a metaphor for I don't actually not.
Speaking of which, we forgot to mention that Jean-Luc Godard edited. this
Oh
movie.
yeah, Jean-Luc Godard edited this film.
Oh my God, it's Godard.
Don't forget that one scene where none of the audio was synced up correctly.
Yeah, I remember you pointed that out. I don't remember.
I died
I don't remember if I
when
kept
I'm
that
like-
footage or not. But
Well,
what? I can't remember if I did.
regardless, I just want to say that honestly, this was an era where it was inappropriate, I guess, to be either really racist or really homophobic.
Okay, yeah, and then the homophobia was just a cameo.
One scene.
Just a cameo of homophobia in this film.
I love me a latte.
Oh my God.
Sounds good. I'll take it. Bring it back tomorrow.
I
Wait.
know you're gonna love this. Such a lovely
No, and
American sound.
let me guess, she's probably gay.
You know, I used to watch you play.
This movie is a walking stereotype.
This is
Samurai
amazing.
Cop.
This has everything.
Nose tackle. Oh, it's such a descriptive word. Nose tackle. How could you ever quit? Don't you miss it?
Wait, did you already say he's like the waiter from Samurai Cop?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, what about you?
Oh, film is the worst thing I've ever seen.
What was
in
the
my life.
point? Like, is that supposed to be funny? Was that so funny?
It was
This is the
funny.
90s when being gay was funny. And not actually considered a serious thing.
So we get, what was it? Like a car service? What was
I think
that?
so, or
Well,
something.
there wasn't even much of a point to that scene.
I think it was just having
Just
a gay guy in
introduce
the
him.
film.
But who was it? Was it the guy with the NFL shirt? Was he the one that walked in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he went in to talk to this guy, who I don't know if you can tell by the scene, but he's supposed to be gay. Then what was the other? I mean, the racism just kind of happens throughout the film at certain points, right? Like those were like the main moments of racism.
I think. Don't
When they went
forget.
to Mexico.
Oh
Well,
yeah, when they went
yeah.
to Mexico
When
and
they
they,
were
and they met this
with the
guy.
Colombians who live in Mexico,
Oh yeah, they were Colombians. That's right.
who live in Mexico with Danny
Oh,
Trejo.
and don't forget
And the mariachi.
the guy who is just dressed in mariachi gear because who the fuck knows why?
All right, before we get to mariachi, we have to back. This is gonna be a long video.
Oh,
We have to
God.
back up. So then we cut to Bean. I'm guessing Bean is because it's called WB Blue and Bean in some universe. I'm guessing Blue is the black guy, who's probably like the least stereotypical part of the film, I would say, comparatively
He was
speaking.
very progressive for a black
Yeah.
guy.
But then Bean goes. The guy like he wants to take him to court for manslaughter, if I heard correctly.
I honestly don't know.
But the guy runs away, so he pulls out a shotgun from his crappy car. And we were really confused for a second. We thought he was just going to murder this guy because he failed to establish that he's using beanbag rounds. So he throws what we think is a grenade at him first.
Oh no,
Remember?
that was a grenade.
That was?
Yeah, that was a
It sure
grenade.
wasn't just a smoke grenade, though.
No, because smoke grenades don't look like that.
I mean, it didn't blow him to pieces, though, so
Well,
it's
since
not a
when
very
do-
good grenade.
When would this movie care about accurately representing what weapons look like and do?
I mean, that's fair.
But then he throws a grenade at the
But
guy.
he doesn't use a grenade.
And then
pistol
when that
as a
doesn't work, he
handgun.
proceeds to shoot at him. He says rubber bullets, something for like riot control. That's what they use,
Yeah.
rubber bullets. But that's established after the scene happens. What?
Why is he tying a bandana around his head?
What's going on?
Because he is a modern day
American?
Did you?
sure.
What?
What? There's no way that fit in that trunk.
Dude, he's going all out.
Are those grenades?
Dude, he's going all out. What's in the music,
Why does he have a toolbox with guns?
But the guys already ran away.
Listen to this music. What a hero. He's not doing
He
anything.
has grenades! Why do you have grenades?
Because he's a bail person. He wasn't even an actual bail person. The guy paid him $50 to do this. If I turn it right, it's like, hey, I'll give you $50 to make sure this guy doesn't leave. He's doing this for $50?
And so now he's gonna kill him. Unless he's using
For
beanbag
$50.
rounds.
The economy was in a rough time.
No, it wasn't. Clinton was president.
In 1990? I'm not very good with
No,
that.
it wasn't 19. Clinton was 92.
And it was
Because Bush was 2000.
yeah, it was
Oh, the
Bush
first one?
Senior.
Yeah, it was. Still, Bush Senior wasn't that bad hard on the economy.
I like how he has a bandana on to shoot a guy. Oh, okay. This is literally just for take him to court, right? They didn't kill him? What was it, just a smoke bomb? But he's still shooting at him.
How many shots does it take?
Is he in blackface?
No, I think he just got dirty. But it does look like that. Yeah, because he has dirt all over him.
Well, he's Indian.
I don't know if they mean Native American.
Yeah, I
or
don't
Indian.
either.
That's true.
Because they're two different things.
Stand up now. I'm here. Not yet. Rubber bullets meant for riots.
Oh.
The next one could be real.
It would have been nice to tell us as audience members
What?
that it was rubber bullets, that he wasn't just trying to
Okay,
murder
so
this guy.
it was beanbag rounds. Okay. Well,
You
not
think
beanbag
it's
rounds,
still
but it was
called-
like that.
That would still cause blood.
Afterwards, we find out that it's rubber bullets. So we think he's gonna murder this guy. We also thought that he got shot at first because the guy who ran away had a shotgun, right? And then he shot at him, and then he ducked down. But we didn't see him duck down. We just don't see anyone there anymore, so we thought he'd been like shot dead. But wait, did he?
He
Did
doesn't
he
have
just
a
die?
gun.
Oh, okay.
don't have a. He doesn't have a.
He took down pretty fast.
Okay, man, okay. I'm leaving.
He just ran away.
You have the upper. You have the high ground.
So Anakin, I had the high ground.
So then
Shut
I
so
guess
hard
we'll
he's
get
out of
into the kidnapping now, the casual midday kidnapping.
Right in the middle of.
And who is her dad kidnaps her first, right?
Right to get her back safely, I guess.
Yeah, because she's very calm about it. They just let her like sit around the back seat. But then the Colombians come. Oh, by the way, David Hasselhoff, someone grabs his arm, and so he cannot prevent the kidnapping because an old man grabs his wrists. And I guess because he didn't want him to break his tennis wrists, because that's how you hit it. You know, you use your wrists. So if he broke his wrist, he couldn't play tennis anymore. Tennis is very important to David Hasselhoff. That's his main character trait, by the way. That's all we know about David Hasselhoff is he really likes tennis. And he really likes to charge people $200 an hour to play tennis with him.
I don't think it's just that he likes tennis. He never says he loves tennis in the movie. He just does it.
We know he plays tennis. That's David Hasselhoff's character. He plays it, and then if he leaves, you still have to charge $200 an hour to play a ball machine.
One can say this movie is a 10 out of tennis.
So, back to the kidnapping. Linda Blair is kidnapped by her dad, and then the Colombians shoot 4 people, but then David Hasselhoff said it was 2 people. And by the way, when David Hasselhoff sees this kidnapping, his disguise is just... They can't see me, because I ducked down.
That's only a step below the sunglasses and
But
baseball cap.
No, he's not trying to be conspicuous. He's trying to... Or inconspicuous? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to not be seen, period. Like, you can just, like, lean down, not just scooch down, you know? But he doesn't do that.
Fall off this chair.
And so then a couple people die, and then Linda Blair she mouths, save me or something like that. Help me. She mouths, help me. And then Linda Blair is gone. And then they go...
David Hasselhoff,
She's being
my only
held...
hope.
We're going to skip a few things. I don't remember. Then we're going to skip to the gas company, and Stan Lee works at this gas company.
No, it's discount fat Stan.
And an overweight Stan Lee works at this gas company. So we go there.
News to me, Pancho.
Oh my God, Stanley.
Is a cameo.
Yeah. That's
Overweight
exactly
Stan
what I
Lee.
thought. I thought it was going to be a Stan Lee cameo. I'm like, what?
Overweight Stan Lee. And then, so they go in, and they already have the disguise of being gas people. But they go in and plant a bomb in one of the buildings. Because even though they already have a cover and they can already go wherever they want to, we need an explosion pretty much. Like
To be fair,
there's no in-universe reason
that
for the
is
explosion.
the best part of the movie.
Well, that and the helicopter. But
yeah, those
but
are the best
helicopters-
parts of the movie.
Mayhaps he wanted to plant an
Mayhaps.
explosion. Yeah, he wanted to plant the explosion so everybody leaves, so then they can have the
Oh,
shootout.
because they didn't know when it would go off, I'm guessing. Because they said, like, we don't know what's going off, and that's why they... In the hilarious and wacky scene where they run away from death. And then we have, like, the shot, which is a fairly competent shot of, like, you see the explosion in the background, even though it's
He's standing there and he just doesn't react at all.
Yeah,
to
even
the
though it's
explosion.
still...
Like, see, it could go off anytime,
Yeah.
and it did. And like I said, that's the best part of the movie. And why are
Yeah.
you flicking yourself?
Shut up.
And so then we go from that to they go get Linda Blair. She drives off. Was it just the sign fell off the car, or did they purposely take it off?
I feel like the sign fell off.
So the sign fell off the van, like their gas
It's an
thing.
automatic
So then the
disguise.
Colombians can no longer recognize that this is their van.
He's using his occult. He's got 2 guns.
What? That fell in the snow. The gas sign fell off.
Like, just because it fell off. Like, it's just any old white van now that's driving away from the exact same location they came from. So because of that,
Might as well go ahead and paint free candy on it.
like, David Hasselhoff is able to outmaneuver them and follow them to some place. It's like a cabin sort of thing where they take her.
I
So
guess
take
that's
her there.
correct. I mean,
And then there's like they like blow up 2 cars or something like that.
and
Then
and he shoots a guy point blank with a grenade pistol that sends him flying out the window.
Well, no,
Yeah.
that wasn't with the grenade.
Oh, yeah, and then-
Oh, that was just the handgun?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I remember there was the
How
guy.
much force did that have?
There was like a second of a nice shot where there's a guy sitting out of a window, but then he never does anything. He's just like leaning out holding a gun, but then the gun jams, so he just sits back down. So there was really no point.
Who cares,
in that.
honestly? He rescues her.
Yeah, well, yeah. So then Linda Blair drives away, and then Linda Blair gets kidnapped by Caesar Salazar, who's probably
it's less racist when you
he's
use
probably
these.
honestly the best actor in the film because he's not great,
David Hasselhoff's the best actor in the film.
but like he's like really chewing the scenery and having fun with it. He's not given anything to do, but compared to everyone else in the film, he's fun. He's a fun character, I guess. So then Linda Blair gets kidnapped again,
But kind of more willingly.
and then David Hasselhoff goes to Mexico, where the Colombians are, because the Colombians
oh, don't forget
live in
about the
Mexico?
plane guy.
plane guy. Oh, where he just has a plane ready for
Yeah,
them, even though they've
exactly.
never been before. Yeah, we're probably skipping over something, but who cares?
Yeah.
So then we go to Mexico. And David Hasselhoff is like, there's a time for shooting, there's a time for talking. And so he's able to talk these people who somehow never seen him.
Don't shoot!
And then they have a conversation. Oh, crap. I skipped Mariachi.
You skip Mr.
We're
Mariachi.
going back up. We're going...
and
So-
Danny Trejo.
So who would like to talk about Mariachi?
Well, there's a man, a little short Mexican person, and he's just dressed as a mariachi performer for no reason. And he was really excited because he saw the black guy, and I guess mistook him for a former Oakland Raiders.
Which is the payoff for
LA
the earlier
Raiders.
scene at the boxing place.
What? He's just standing there.
Hey, I know you.
Him?
You're Mason Wooka, the football player.
Oh,
Those
so he's a
Oakland
football player.
Raiders.
That's why. Okay.
No, I think
That's me, man.
Shit, I watch you
I
play
think
on
he looks
TV
like him.
when I live in California.
That's why he was like
You
saying
are
that
something,
earlier.
hombre.
this is so racist.
What are you doing down
No,
here?
that's what happens
With
when
my
you go to
buddies.
Mexico.
You help them fix refrigerators.
So what you're saying is
Best fixers in the
everybody
business.
in Mexico is
You
dressed
play
like
football for fixing refrigerators?
Amigo, there's big money in refrigerators.
Shit,
and they
I'll
love
give you my
American
best
football.
horses.
Actually, no.
End of the road. If we're gonna
They're,
fix
um,
Mr. Salazar's
they're
refrigerator,
actually a bunch
we gotta
of,
go the rest of the way on
Mexican,
horseback.
Oh,
Carolina Panthers.
great.
I like how you
How
see
come
somewhere
Senor
on the corner
Salazar
of the
knows to do
frame.
his chop?
Or something.
Just
The
it's
fact
a
that there was even
laughs all
payoff in this
around.
movie is impressive.
Laughs all around.
Racist.
And he has a bunch of horses for them, so they can ride on
Right.
horses
So
now.
then-
And they instantly know how to ride horses.
Well, do you
Without any
really
backgrounds.
care if they ride horses? Like, do you really care
That's-
about that?
Yeah.
Like, that's like the least of the concerns in this film. But, so we meet Mariachi, who can survive getting shot in the chest for a whole day, and he just has a little bandage that he holds right here, and so he's fine. But
My
back to
question
David
is,
Hasselhoff.
is the bullet still in him? Like,
Is that actor still alive? And does he regret doing this movie?
probably.
Sure hope so.
So back to David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff is able to convince them. That doesn't even make sense though. Like, why would the Colombians take this white guy in to their secret drug ring to help them out? Because they're out there just putting all the bags of cocaine in the places and all that. Like,
Okay, David Hasselhoff is quite the negotiator. I don't think you could really... You're underestimating just how fantastic this guy was. He was a host of America's Got Talent.
Dude, he was Knight Rider.
he was Knight Rider.
He was Knight
Rider.
Rider.
He was in. Well, he actually.
Baywatch.
He was in Baywatch.
He was in
dude.
Kung Fury. Okay.
Kung Fury.
For like, wasn't he like just in like one scene? Like
I
he
don't
was.
even know
He was the
what Kung
car.
Fury is.
What? Whatever.
Dude, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh,
He's
that was
obviously
that was
actually
pretty good.
that was
a pretty great scene.
that was a
But-
well
I don't even
done
remember
cameo.
that scene. I'm sorry.
When Peter Quill like
Spoilers for Guardians 2 of all things.
That's when Ego tells Peter that he killed his mother by putting the tumor in her head, and he like boom, 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 like.
And then turns to
straight
David
up.
Hasselhoff.
And then he's like, I tried to find the form that was best suited. And as he's saying the rest of the line, he transforms into David Hasselhoff for you, and then he transforms back into Ego.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, what were we talking about?
David Hasselhoff.
But like, what was he
Negotiating.
Negotiating.
Hey, let's just skip to the part where he pretends to have sex.
No, and that's the funniest part of the movie because like
He takes off his clothes.
he takes
for some
his clothes
reason.
off.
But Linda Blair keeps her clothes on. I guess because I mean, good for Linda Blair, having some decency. But it's like, just like, why did David Hasselhoff take?
Why
his
didn't they
clothes
just
off?
film a regular sex scene?
Well,
I mean,
because we wouldn't.
You
have
can fake a sex scene. You
we-
don't actually have to have sex.
we wouldn't have the wacky gag of the two guys watching them pretend to have sex. But then the scene closes before anything really happens, and then we just cut to them the next day.
I don't think Linda Blair's character in the movie wanted to. She did not consent.
Did she?
That-
Did
that's shitty.
David
Take that out. Just take
Hasselhoff
out-
ask the consent fairy?
Just take out this entire part. Let's cut
Oh yeah,
this
you're
part.
editing
is
this,
stupid.
so have fun.
Am I editing this? Or
No wait, you're editing Guess the Better View. Dang it.
So just take out this part there, because that was stupid.
All right, what happens then?
And then they escape because the
The helicopter
they have
explodes.
they have a slingshot, and they slingshot grenades into the camp.
What?
Step
Like they
7,
had the-
Mason,
they had the
rain,
slings.
fire.
No.
Don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, they do.
I don't remember
They
this. I don't
they
remember.
slingshot like things.
Grenades.
Yeah.
I remember explosions. Small. Who didn't someone? The Bean came back and he had explosions
They actually
with
were-
mariachi, and that's how we knew that he wasn't dead. He just shows up.
Yeah, because he was launching the explosive devices.
Okay.
And I have to give the film some credit. It was able to shoot like some helicopter shots fairly well.
Yeah, it was decent. This had some production value.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot about the boom mic. Why is this British guy here?
Yeah, there was the boom mic.
Wait, was that what that was?
That was the boom mic, all right.
That's amazing. That's the only.
Oh, there was a boom mic.
That's really the only technical problem. Well, on that
There's
level.
There's also a jump cut because
John Luc Godard. We forgot about the jump cut.
Edited this movie, so
All
of
right,
course
so
it's gonna
that's
be a
the
jump
sum.
cut.
But that was an artistic decision, Matthew.
I'm a film student.
Yeah, wow, I like how the wall just moved when you hit it.
Really? Love that there's no muzzle flash.
Wait, did it cut?
Yeah, jump cut. There's a jump cut. It really is John Luc Godard.
So what happens?
I love
we
not
just
having
go
to
from
be cynical.
slingshot to helicopter explodes,
Remember, they just rode around.
and then they go into
No. Then David Hasselhoff, shot it like 3 times with a pistol.
Yeah.
It exploded.
And then they're in the airplane after they've gotten away. And they're like, "Hey, there's $10 million in the safe." Well, you know what that means. Credits. And then that's how we found out Danny Trejo's in it, because of the credits.
Well, I thought it was Danny Trejo, and I said something about it.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't believe me.
Because I don't know, he looks like he does today. Like, he's been the same age since apparently 1989.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo was like 30 in 1989.
He looks the same, though. That's why I didn't think it was him.
I was about to say black don't crack, but that doesn't really apply here.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. Or leave it in.
But
That's not racist.
Okay. What happens? Is there anything else you want to bring up? We already brought up the homophobia and the racism.
Homophobia?
Homophobia.
Homophobia.
Just know that
Please, under any
women, and
circumstance.
children, this is a movie that you need to see.
You can watch.
Please don't under any circumstances waste your time with this film.
You can watch the first. Once David Hasselhoff rescues Linda Blair for the first time, you can shut the movie off at that point.
Because then it's basically the exact same.
Yeah, it's literally just a different location. That's the only
it's literally
difference.
the exact same plot twice.
In the Mojave Desert, pretending to be Mexico.
Yeah, because there's a Mexican flag at the store.
So, should we rate it? I mean, is that
What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Rate it
Yeah, rate it. Sure, let's do it.
2 out of 10.
I'll go last.
I mean, I guess F, because that's my rating system. But
I'd give it a solid 13 out of 49.
okay. Have fun out there, you memers. We're gonna cut to the opening, and
You
it's
don't need
just
to tell them that we're cutting. You just
What?
cut.
no. What? Just forget it.
Please leave this in.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna show you that scene now. Tell me.
You're not supposed
What are
to
these
tell
characters?
them. Just
I can do what I want. This is my channel. I have control.
I think this like Mussolini.
What? Anyway.
blood alone moves the wheels of history.
Anyway, so
Can I just